Yeah, Ross Greer.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, the Green Manifesto is very straightforward on this. Apprenticeships should pay at least the real living wage. $4.30 is just under half of what it takes to live not above the poverty line, but on it. So it's outrageous to be paying people less than half of what they would need to live a life out of the poverty threshold. Our manifesto goes further than that on apprenticeships. We need to be doing a lot more to expand access to them for disabled people. We need to break down a lot of the gender barriers that there are around quite a few sectors that apprenticeships are prominent in. But going back to this point about how we use the powers that we already have in Scotland, Nicola mentioned the government's Fair Work agenda, which is a perfectly positive aspiration, but I find it really frustrating, having for years tried to pursue the government on this. The Scottish government can't even say how many businesses they provide public money to pay the living wage. And I've asked repeatedly for it. We don't know. And the answer is there are a huge number of businesses across the country who get public money, taxpayers' money, and are not paying a living wage to their staff. There are businesses who don't recognise trade unions. Many of them use very exploitative practices like zero-hours contracts. These are powers we already have, whether it's public procurement or the government's direct funding for apprenticeships, setting basic standards around stuff like paying a decent living wage. It's already within our powers. We can and should be doing it now.
Thanks, Ross. And I think with that, I'll perhaps bring Nicola Sturgeon back in to respond briefly, if you're able to.
So I don't entirely disagree with that. We are strengthening the conditionality on Scottish Government grants and the procurement process, and through Fair Work First, we are making sure that is becoming a much more dominant part of what we do. That's not why I wanted to jump back in. I hope one of the issues we can have consensus on in the next Parliament is a minimum income guarantee. I think we're the first main party to put that in our manifesto last week, to assess minimum income standards, and then as far as we can, there will be limitations without full powers, but as far as we can, bring people up to those standards. So hopefully we'll get some consensus on that.